Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 25th episode of the Hardly Millennial podcast, halfway to 50. And remember, we are young, dumb, and full of
opinions, guys.
Opinions, ladies and gentlemen, as always. So I am your host today, Adam. Across from me is Matthew.
Hi, guys. Matthew Lynn.
And we have a very fun subject, I think, for everybody today.
It is a fun subject. We're going into it just a little bit blind today, actually.
We actually are. We think that this actually might be a two-parter episode.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So today's subject is hypotheticals. So
I love it already.
So I was on Facebook the other day, and it was just one of the random ads that some page that I liked posted or something, and it was just like 11 hypotheticals, right? That were just fun to discuss. And I read like the first two, and I was like, okay, we have to do an episode of this.
This is a podcast.
So I didn't read any more after that.
We have not read the last, 9?
Yeah.
We've only read the first 2, guys. So they could be anything. We have no idea.
We're going into this blindly. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to 2 of our donators so far to the GoFundMe page.
Yeah, man. 2 people put some love in the jar.
2 people put some love in the jar. My friend Kyle and my good friend Katie.
Thanks, guys. You're all stars.
Thank you so much, guys. We're $5 away from 50. So if you'd like to be the person to get us to $50, remember, just go to www.gofundme.com/hardlymillennial. Thank you.
We appreciate you already. All right, let's get down to business,
Let's
Adam.
get down to business. Let's go to the first one that we saw. And the first one that we read is just fantastic.
I'm excited. I don't remember it at all, to tell you the truth.
Okay. So here's the first hypothetical for the day.
Okay.
You're walking in a forest and you found a black suitcase. Inside it holds $1 million and a piece of paper stained in blood with a single word, "don't." Would you take the suitcase home or leave it?
Well, is there any, is there a period after the word "don't"? Or what if it was someone dying and they were trying to write, "don't forget this suitcase"?
It doesn't say. It just has the word "don't" in quotations.
Oh, it's in quotations?
In quotations.
Okay, so it's meant to be the only word on the page.
So it just says "don't."
That's clearly a warning.
And it's stained in blood, remember.
Okay, so let's just go over this real quick. I'm in a forest.
Yes.
I'm alone.
Yes.
For whatever reason. We don't know what time of the day it is, but we're assuming, let's go with the cheerier time of day. It's daytime.
Daytime.
I find a suitcase, which is black.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why that's important, but they did iterate the color of the suitcase.
Yes.
And it's got $1 million in it.
Yes.
1 million $1 bills, which is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Would not fit in a suitcase. And then a paper that says "don't." So if it was anywhere but a forest, I'm taking it.
Yeah?
Taking it. But because it's in a forest.
Really? That's
what
makes it iffy for you?
That's what makes it iffy, because you're going to get taken out in a forest, dude.
So what if you found it in if you found it the middle of a Central Park in New York?
Like downtown Los Angeles, I find a briefcase with $1 million and $100 bills that says "don't."
Uh-huh.
I'm taking it, bro, and I'm getting the hell out of Los Angeles. I'll never go back there. I'll never go back. But you can't drive a car in a forest. I have to be able to make a speedy escape.
True. Well, and what if whoever put out the suitcase has a tracker on it? So once you take it, they're able to track where you are at all times.
Well, they didn't even have a pen to write the word "don't." They wrote it in blood. So.
Well, it just said blood stained. So there was blood on the piece of paper. It said, and a piece of paper stained in blood with a single word, "don't." So it was like they were bleeding. And in their final time of being alive, they were like, all right, I'm going to make sure nobody else makes my fucking same mistake and writes "don't."
I would just have to sit there for a few moments, at least. And I would really try to convince myself that it's okay.
Yeah?
Right? I really would.
Well, watch it just be some wealthy person just like, guys, watch this. They have a little hidden camera
what
in
do
the
you
forest.
think, to be honest, I don't think I'm leaving the forest without the $1 million. I don't think I'm leaving without it.
So I'm somebody who likes to delve into things simply out of morbid curiosity. So
Well, this is one of those situations.
yes, it is. Yes, it certainly is. So if I'm in the forest and I come across this black suitcase with a blood-stained letter with a single word, don't, I think I'm taking it.
You taking it?
I think I'm taking it.
Well, we should also agree upon where in the forest did you find it. And this is more hypothetical, but is because I'm imagining like an open clearing. Like, you know, the picture in the movie where you're getting the deer and the deer walks out and there's sunshine and it's like this beautiful flowery. That's what I'm imagining with the suitcase in the middle of it. But is this like underneath a stump somewhere, like half buried?
So the way I'm imagining it is just smack dab in the middle of the forest, right? Just like you're walking along, your foot hits something, you look down, it's a fucking black suitcase.
Oh, I'm taking it. If that is the case, I'm fucking taking it.
Yeah?
Yeah, if it's in the open clearing, that's where I'm worried. That's where I'm like, someone's gonna get me on the way out.
Well, just that, because like in my situation, the way I imagine it, it could be somebody that was just like where it got dropped or whatnot. But in your situation, it's like that's where you put it if you're trying to plant
like a trap.
it. Yeah,
I would probably stand back and like throw rocks at it and shit, and try to see if any like, you know, those ropes that catch you by the ankle and hang you upside down, like in Robin Hood. I try to make sure there's none of that going on.
What if, or maybe, you know what I might do also? I might try, so I would automatically assume, okay, I'm taking the suitcase, some shit's going to go down. I don't know what, but shit's going to go down.
Oh, sure.
Right? So what I might try to do is in my head, it would make sense like, oh, I'll just cheat the system. So instead of taking the entire suitcase with all the money, I'm just going to take as much as I can carry and go about my merry way. Leave the suitcase, leave what else is in there.
I feel like that would just piss off whoever's laying the trap, and they're going to get you anyway.
Like there'd be no payoff at the end.
I like the way you're going with it, though. I appreciate the thought. Because I can see what you're thinking. Like if you have a suitcase, you're less mobile. It's kind of clumsy and awkward. It could blow up. A lot of things could happen to the suitcase.
Right.
But the dollars, those are just the enticing part.
Exactly.
Right? Take those.
And look, I in those situations I wouldn't be greedy. I'm like, you know what? I'm assuming they're all hundreds, right? It's just a bunch of $100 bills. I just take as much as I can carry, shove in my pocket, grab some in my hand. I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna take care of me for a little bit. That to me, that's worth it.
I don't think you could fit $1 million into a briefcase.
I was gonna say it'd be a
I don't
really
even think you
big
could fit
suitcase.
it into a suitcase.
Usually, it's like at least when you see it depicted in movies, it's always like a duffel bag, right? They got this giant ass duffel bag, and it's just like tons and tons of money
10 of them
in
is
there.
1,000. You'd have to have 1,000. Okay, yeah, you could do it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would only be 1,000. It'd only be 10,000 bills.
Oh yeah,
That's not that bad. You could do that.
You could do that.
Whatever.
Definitely. But yeah,
Interesting. So it's a consensus here. The millennials are taking it.
We're fucking taking it.
We're fucking taking it.
And then whatever happens, happens.
Which probably means neither of us are making it out alive.
Probably not.
Because I'm certainly not a hero.
To me, it sounds like the beginning of one of those stories where it starts with the person taking it right, and then it's like a 2-hour movie and ends with that person who took it, leaving it in the forest and writing "don't" on a piece of paper.
Right,
it's just a constant circle.
I feel like in that situation, my last words as the perpetrator is about to kill me would be like, take it back, take it back, take it back. Like I'd be trying to like offer it back to them. Be like, I'm sorry, I forget about it.
So here's the thing. So let's say you take the suitcase, right?
Okay.
So you take the suitcase, you have $1 million in your possession, you go home, nothing's happening, right?
Oh.
How long do you wait until you spend the money?
I start spending it immediately.
Oh, really?
But
you don't sit on it for a little bit, see if anything's going to happen? Because giving back the money could be your only saving grace.
No, If I make it all the way home and it seems like I'm good to go, so I'm forever going to be paranoid. But I'm going to start spending it immediately to try to get as much of that satisfaction before they take me out.
True.
Because I don't assume I'm safe just because I made it out of the forest.
Right.
Okay, no, you're coming for $1 million? I'd be coming after you. So someone's coming after you for $1 million. Dude.
Sure, so you might as well just enjoy the time you have.
Oh,
right?
Dude, I don't know if I would sleep.
Or you just use the money that you have from this $1 million, like, okay, I need a security team to follow me at all times. And then you just have them follow you for, ever.
I feel like we would both spend the $1 million really quickly.
Yes.
And then be broke and still have a headhunter after us. And that's when we would get killed.
That's exactly what would happen.
That's what would happen.
He'd show up like 48 hours later.
We'd be like, it's gone, bro.
Like, sorry, it's all gone.
We bought so much media equipment. It's gone.
We already passed out. We had like 3 apprentices the past 48 hours, so they'll take over for us.
All right, so we're willing to risk our lives for $1 million.
We're willing to risk our lives. Good to know.
Good to know. I've learned something about myself. What's the next one?
Number 2. Oh, this is a longer one.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's go.
Excuse me. Number 2. You are at war, deciphering an intercepted code.
Okay.
You learn 2 things about your enemy. A single spot in their defense will be at its weakest in 10 days.
Okay.
And they will attack on your... this is worded weird. And they will attack one of your cities in 5 days.
Okay.
What do you do with this information? What is the most efficient course of action?
Okay, I feel like I followed that pretty well, actually.
There's
so
a lot
I think,
in there.
In essence, what it's trying to ask is, you're a leader of like an army, okay,
Right.
who's at war, and you get this information, and you can either choose to protect your city that's going to get attacked in 5 days, or you can choose to let it get attacked, wait 10 days, and then hit the enemy where they're the weakest.
So this is a Enigma code kind of situation.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Who wants to take it away with that one? Do you have an immediate response?
Well, I feel like if you're trying to take your enemy out, I mean, as far as strategy of war is concerned, you let your city bite the dust and you wait to take the enemy out.
Oh, Adam.
Isn't it one of those like kill one, save 1,000 situations?
I get it, but what's the point of fighting the war if everyone's fucking blown up? You got to defend your shit. That's the whole point of the war.
But it's just one city. Like, I'm assuming we're talking about the United States here, right? What city are they blowing up?
Let's say they're blowing up Chicago.
Fuck
it, let them
Bye,
go.
Chicago.
Bye.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Los Angeles.
We will rebuild. Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, come on. You can't let them take out Los Angeles.
Yes, I can.
I understand you have some bias, okay? But
why not, though?
I'm with you on Chicago. Let Chicago go. Love you guys. Sorry. You're in the middle,
Why not Los Angeles?
Because you can't let them take out any coastal cities, bro. Coastal cities are important.
I guess.
You let them. They can hit the middle. That's fine. We'll rebuild the middle.
That's true.
The coast, you got to have that shit on lock.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it came down to like destroying the enemy, because I'm assuming at this point the enemy's doing pretty fucking well. Right?
Well,
Killed
I'm assuming
a lot of
a
my
standstill.
people.
I'm assuming here that both sides are of equal power at the moment.
Right.
So, okay, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of differing opinions on these. Me and you live a lot similar lives. So my immediate response is I'm like you, okay? You win the battle, but I'm going to win the war.
Yeah.
So you can have the city, but then 5 days later, I'm going to fuck you up from behind, and I'll just get my city back later.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, I'll just play the devil's advocate for a minute just to keep it interesting, okay? If you defend the city, all right, and let's assume that you win, then you can counterattack. Now they're retreating, and it's easier to defend than it is to attack in general. You can defend and take out a lot more dudes. So you defend real well, fuck their line, whatever. 5 days from now, that doesn't matter. We live in the now, not the future.
Right.
Let them attack, fight them back, and then you already know that their defense is weak behind them, so you can push them back really hard.
Yep.
Right? Whereas me and you lost a city, and hopefully we win the battle.
Yeah, but it's one of those things of so the way that this was saying it is, they're going to blow up the city, right?
Oh, the city's done for.
So the city is done for. Oh. So the way I look at it is like, okay, well, we could try to push back now, risk them finding out that we know this little weak spot in their defense, them able to grow stronger from that. And now not only are they going to take out that one city, but then later on they're going to be able to take out another one, and then maybe another one before we find another spot to attack again.
Right. I mean, I know the only knowledge I have of any of this would be like strategy games.
Right.
Okay. Because I've never been in the military or fought in war.
Uh-huh.
But I have played a lot of strategy games. Okay. And in general, you never let your cities fall. You can
Right.
lose battles out in the field. You can lose generals. It sucks, whatever. But you never let your cities fall because the cities are what makes supplies. And without supplies, it doesn't matter how many men you have in your army. You have to have bullets and shit, right? So, like in games, and I think in real life too, for the most part, it's more important to attack supplies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Demobilize the enemy. So, it's almost not negotiable. You can't let your city fall.
Yeah, I guess. I guess just as strategy, it makes sense. But then you also
Is it a
have to
Russian
think
city?
about
Because if it's a Russian city, you don't have to worry. They're never gonna fall. They'll just keep going. You'll have 80% of the city fucking blown up, and it'll be frozen over in the dead of winter. They'll just keep on trucking.
Will they?
Yeah, that was like what Stalingrad. I think that was the Battle of Stalingrad, dude.
Really?
Where the Germans were attacking. I think I'm getting the city right, and they blew it to shit. It was totally destroyed.
And the Russians just went
And
about their day?
In the middle of it, there was a giant lake next to it, so it might not have been Stalingrad. I don't know. Leningrad, one of those. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Yeah, there was a lake dividing the city, and it got so fucking cold that the whole lake froze over. So the Russians could go from one side to the other and like get to the other side of the city.
Oh, yeah. I remember we watched a video about
Dude,
this.
they held out forever. They held out
That's
for
right.
a fucking moment. Okay. And it was like a Pyrrhic victory where the Germans won, but they lost so many dudes that really they lost.
Well, shit.
So if it's a Russian city, you don't got to worry. Just hold out, homie. Attack them in 5 days. They'll be fine.
But America...
If it's a French city, like my people, my people are from France, so I can say this. You better defend because they're not going to last long. They are not going to last long. So really, it just depends, man.
Yeah, it really does. It depends on the location, depends on the city, depends on the war.
I feel that the rules of the conversation for today is we have to come to a consensus, though.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm still willing to agree that I'm going to let the city go.
So I would say, just knowing myself, I think like right now I would let the city go. But then also if I found myself in that situation where somebody was like, hey, Adam, here are our two options, I'd probably be more hesitant to do it.
Can't hesitate, bro. Can't hesitate.
Yeah, I'm going to have to let the city go.
Let the city go.
I'm going to have to let the city go.
Attack them another day.
Sorry, Chicago. Sorry if you're from Chicago. Don't worry, I don't ever plan on being president.
You were the most middle big city in the country I could think of.
Yeah.
It was either you or Detroit.
Yeah.
And I was afraid Adam would just let Detroit go in a heartbeat. So
well,
I picked Chicago, who he might be a little bit more prone to keep around.
No, I was pretty quick to let them go too. Sorry, Chicago.
Surprisingly, yeah, I'm surprised.
But
Interesting.
All right, well,
Okay, well, the millennials are going to let the city go.
you guys are learning a lot about us today.
Interesting.
All right, let's see. So
We're in
this
so
is the
much
one
trouble.
that I have not read yet.
Okay, it could be anything.
So, this is a short one. If you could really sell your soul to the devil,
Okay.
what would you sell it for?
Oh my gosh, so I have to sell
You
it.
have to sell your soul. I know you have strong opinions about this.
I have really strong opinions about
But
this.
you have to. You have to sell your soul to the devil.
So I can play along. I can put my beliefs aside and play along for a minute. You must sell your soul. What's
What are you
the
selling it
price?
for?
What's the price?
And let's say everything is consistent as it is now. So nobody like is dead in your family that isn't dead already. You don't have anything that you don't have already. It's just if
I
this
know
happened right now.
what my answer is. I'm just trying to figure out how to word it.
Okay.
I immediately know what my answer is. Okay.
Okay.
Because if I have one chance to interact with the actual devil, okay, I'm gonna fuck with him.
Okay.
Clearly. Okay.
Interesting.
I'm gonna get in a Zoota loop. I'm gonna mess with his head. So I think if the devil was like, "Give me your soul, and I'll give you anything that you want," I would ask for eternal love.
Interesting.
Because that's the one thing that if it's truly actually the devil,
Uh-huh.
he wouldn't be able to give me. It's impossible. He couldn't give it to me. He doesn't understand it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's what I would ask for.
That's fucking juicy, Matthew.
That would be my thing. I'd look him right in the eye and I'd be like, I want eternal love. He can't give it to you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ball's in your court now, Sam. What do you got for that one?
Oh my God. You know what? I really don't know. I'm going to have to think. I don't know if I have an answer for this. I've never thought about this particular hypothetical, and I think about a lot of hypotheticals. So the devil comes to me and says, Adam, give me your soul.
Oh my God, he talks like Christian Bale.
He talks like Batman.
Great.
There's no such thing as coincidences. But
Okay.
oh my gosh, I don't
So
know.
the Christian Bale devil comes.
The Christian Bale devil comes, says, I want your soul. What are you gonna give me? Oh my gosh, dude, I honestly don't know. I don't know if there's really anything I want back, because here's the thing too. If I'm making a deal with the devil to give him my soul to get something in return, I'm assuming it's going to be one of those catch-22 things where you don't know, like, you know, you'll get it, but not in the way you think. You know what I mean?
Well, let's just assume, to make it easier on the conversation, you're actually going to get
actually
the thing.
going to
Like,
get.
I think the whole point of it is, what is the price?
Right.
What is the thing you want more than anything else in the world? If you could just have it tomorrow for no effort.
I think off the top of my head, immortality.
Oh, immortality.
Yeah.
That's like wishing for more wishes. You can't do that.
No,
that's an essential breakage of the rule.
No,
I think
for
that's
anything?
actually a rule that the genie has in Aladdin. I think he says no wishing for immortality, no wishing for love, and you can't wish for more wishes.
Well,
And he gives in on the third rule.
good thing this isn't a genie and this is the devil then.
I guess that's true. Okay, I guess the devil's not a genie. I assume it had Aladdin's rules for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Robin Williams is not the devil, Matthew.
I know, it's not what I was
The
insinuating
devil
at all.
is red,
Oh,
not
way to
blue.
paint a picture for the fucking internet. Don't come at me with that.
Make a meme about it, guys.
Oh my God, don't.
No,
Don't
just-
make a meme about it.
Just a little bit of a meme.
No.
But yeah, I think immortality, though.
Immortality.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, just at its core time, right? So I'll always have time to do things.
Would you rather have monetary value, like money or things, or would you rather have, like, knowledge? What's more important to you?
Knowledge.
You'd rather have knowledge
I
than
think
money?
knowledge, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why I like immortality. Because I know if I have immortality, the money will come eventually. I'm fucking immortal. But now I also have all the time in the world.
Won't the knowledge
do...
come eventually, though, also? And if you have more money, you have more access to more knowledge.
True, but
You
I feel
actually
like
have access to privileged knowledge.
But I feel like if you have immortality, it doesn't matter which one of those comes before the other.
Do you get some kind of superpower with it, or is that it? You just live forever as Adam Hansen? You get
Live...
to be a vampire or anything?
No, I think just live forever, like as I am now with the body I have now. So like so it's not like I age and I get to be this like 500-year-old shriveled up, you know,
You
potato.
get to be beautiful, fucking middle
fucking
20s
immortal,
Adam
man.
forever.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a good one. That's worth a soul.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what the fuck do you need a soul for anyway if you're immortal?
That's what
right?
I'm saying,
Your soul's only
right?
for after you die.
Yeah.
Good way to put one on him. Good thinking,
It's like,
sir.
what does it matter? Like, I mean, I guess it matters because... Well, no, immortal. So yeah, I can't die, can't kill me. Yeah, just 100% immortality. I just get to
You
live
know what
forever.
I really want? If it's the rule is you just have to pick one thing.
What?
Like you just get one thing. And it's terrible to say I would sell my soul for this, because I wouldn't sell my soul. It just happens to be the one thing that I really, really want the most in life right now.
Okay.
But not worth my soul. If I had to pick something. I really want a fox. I want a red fox. I don't want to name it Jasper.
I know
I want
you
a
do.
boy fox, young, that I can name Jasper, who will just love me. I really want one so bad.
You guys just keep in mind, the more you support the channel, the more you subscribe, the closer you guys bring Matthew to getting his red fox. The closer he gets to getting Jasper.
You guys don't understand. He's going to be so adorable, dude.
I believe it,
I'll
man.
show him to the world.
I am excited for your fox.
You guys think it's a joke. I'm going to get a fox one day.
I believe it, man. I'm excited. You should give it its own Instagram. Take pictures of it all the time. Jasper will be famous.
Well, Jasper will let me know what he wants when I get him. I don't know if he wants to be a star or not. We'll have to discuss it when I get him. I don't know why you're laughing. There's nothing funny about that.
It's a little funny.
It's not funny.
I had a friend who got a pig, and we were asking her like what she was going to name it, and she goes, "I don't know. I haven't met it yet."
I understand. I fully understand that. We are digressing quickly. Back to what was our question here?
Sell your soul to the devil.
Oh, we're selling our soul to the devil. Okay, so pick a thing, Adam. It's got to be like a Lamborghini or a fucking CEO of a company. Or
You have to pick an object?
Yeah, what's the object?
Well, I mean, I guess then just a lot of money.
I would want a really pimp-ass fucking awesome house. Like a house that I never had to leave.
So why not just wish for a lot of money?
I'm on fucking staycation all the time. Because it has to be a thing. You never follow the rules. You never listen to the rules.
Money's a fucking thing, is it not?
No, it has to be like a thing you would buy with the money.
Oh my gosh.
First thing I would buy, I'm
Devil's like, sell me your soul and I'll give you an object.
Yes.
I don't fucking know. An object?
Cop out.
The fuck would I get?
Fuck a car. I don't like driving. Driving sucks. I would just want a house that I could just be at a staycation all the time.
An object. I don't fucking know.
There's not a thing popping in your head. It's like, I'd badass if I had that.
No. Like, not something worth to sell my fucking soul for. Like...
It's a what if. It's hypothetical.
It is hypothetical. And if I was fucking met with the choice, I'd be like, well, fuck you. You can't give me anything that I want. So I'm fucking keeping this soul.
I don't think you can just say fuck you to the devil.
Fuck. I don't know. Like, I really like space. Maybe something so I could go in and out of space anytime I fucking wanted, like a little spaceship.
Would you like just own all of outer space?
It has to be a fucking object, right?
Well, there's a lot of objects.
The rules, Matthew.
Fuck the rules. We're millennials.
The fucking immortality.
Immortality. All right, there you go, folks. Apparently, the consensus is we would ask for immortality, because then you could get all the other things that you wanted.
Yes.
Easy one. Next.
And Matthew would stick it to the devil and ask for eternal love.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Look into that a little bit.
Which I still think is great. That's fucking
So
fantastic.
there's this really great quote, and it comes from the Bible, but I didn't read it there. I read it somewhere else. But it's essentially along the lines of, through the darkness, the light shone, and the darkness was baffled.
All right. That's deep.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's my favorite quote from the Bible. I don't know which one it is. Look it up. Read into it a little. It's interesting.
A little food for thought for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Number 4.
This is a long one. I can see all the writing there. That's a paragraph.
Let's see. It goes, you find a book and begin to read only to discover that it is your life.
Oh, cool.
You get to the point that you are at now. Do you turn the page knowing that you will not be able to change the events to come?
Would you want to know the rest of your life? No.
No?
No, I would not want to. Because I have this, and you know this, Adam, but the viewers don't. I have this really weird actual fear that really scares me as a human of not having possibilities. So, like, taking possibilities away from me is the worst thing you could possibly do. I freak the fuck out because I have to know that I can change things.
Right.
If I want to. So no. Even if I knew that I wasn't actually changing anything, it was all set already, there's nothing I can do, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I think it would ruin it.
So, one thing that I don't do this with every book, but there's a lot of books I do this with. It's just a thing I have where I get the book and I read the last sentence.
Why do you do that to yourself?
I don't know. It's just something, because usually the last sentence doesn't really ruin like anything that happens. It's usually just like, oh, and they walked off into the distance.
I was literally thinking that exact line
that,
in my
right?
head. Yeah,
really?
I really was.
So like, I don't know. I just always like, I'll go and I'll read the last sentence and I was like, so we're going to get to this point at some point, regardless what the sentence says. So if I got to the point, I think I would literally open to the last page of the book and I just read the last sentence, shut the book and walk away and just have that sentence to sit on. Here's another scary thought. So you get to the part where you're at now reading, right? And what if there's like only 20 more pages left?
Oh no. Oh no.
So you don't even have to read on, but you get to see how thick the book is from that point on.
But what if it's some of the most exceptional writing ever. Like, your life is about to be the most interesting fucking life ever lived for the last 20 pages.
That's true.
And you had to get through all the boring shit before it got interesting.
Yeah. You know what I might do too? I might, like, aside from just reading the last sentence, I might just open to random parts of the book and just read random sentences.
Oh, don't do that to yourself.
I don't know, just, like, I don't have enough morbid curiosity to keep reading, but I have enough of it to, like, get bullet points.
It might be good to know. It would be kind of, like, relieving, though. Because if you knew no matter what choice you made, your life was already set and you couldn't change anything. Okay, it was just going to be what it is.
Right.
Then at that point, mystery doesn't matter anymore because your life is literally laid out for you no matter what. So it would be kind of nice to know what I'm going to end up at so I don't have to put so much energy into things that I'm not going to be.
Well, and then there comes the question too, though, if you keep reading the book, right? I would feel that, because just as you said, you keep reading the book, you know what's to come in your life. So there's, as you said, a sense of relief that you know everything's laid out for you, you know, of how it's going to be. So if you decide to read on, that dictates that. So if you don't decide to read on, the book would say something very different, right? So that would dictate. So
I'm not following you.
Okay, so if you get to the last page of where you are at now, right? You already know everything that's happened to your life up to that point. So if you choose to close the book, life remains a mystery. You can choose on whether or not of how you live it, right?
Right.
But then I had a very good point to make, and in my process of explaining it, I've lost it.
So were you trying to say? I think what you're trying to say is that if you read the book, your life is predetermined. But if you choose not to read the book, your life is not predetermined. You have more power over what could happen.
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
I think so, but I think I was trying to make a bigger point for, like, that was like the beginning part of it to get to, I don't know, scrap that. I had a point, I forgot it. Simple as that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just think
that if you read the book, you would have a lot less stress because you would put less focus on the things that you're not going to be. But I don't think it's possible for your life to be predetermined either way.
Right.
Because if you read it, it's obviously predetermined. But if you didn't read it, then you'd be able to change anything along the way.
Right.
Right? It's like it becomes predetermined once you read it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that just comes down to if you get to the point of where you're at now, is the book, you know, basically writing itself as you go along? So is the book just basically recording what's going on with your life? So if you open the last pages and you see that all the pages are blank, well, then you know, okay, well, I'm controlling how this story is going.
So I assume for the sake of this argument,
it's predetermined,
already written.
Right?
Yeah, either way, you have a written book for a life.
Yeah, I definitely read the last sentence, close it, and walk away.
I think in the case of how this was laid out within these parameters, I would just read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's other ways you could lay this question out where I would certainly say, no way, I would not read the book.
I think the only way that I would actually continue reading the entire book is going back to how many pages are left, right? So if there's still a thick ass part of the, 3/4 of the book left.
Yeah.
Just going to read the last sentence. But if I find I got like fucking 40 pages left of this fucking book, continue reading.
You're just going to read it.
Why the fuck not? Yeah. At that point, continue reading.
Interesting.
And who knows what can happen.
So I believe the consensus on this one is...
read the book.
We would read the book.
Read the book.
We would read it. Wow. I didn't think it would end up that way.
I didn't either.
When you first asked this question, I thought for sure the consensus was going to be no.
Yeah. We kind of went in a circle and... we're learning a lot about ourselves.
Yeah, I didn't even know these things about myself, guys. I thought I knew myself, but I don't.
This is fun, and we're only on number 4.
Oh, God. What's the next one?
Number 5 is a very short one.
Okay. Those are powerful, usually.
Yeah. If you were really a robot, would you want to know?
If I was really a robot, what would it matter?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. I guess it just means...
Does anything change by me knowing?
No,
well, I guess that's what we discussed. That is the discussion
here. I guess just that you know that you're a robot.
Would it bother you if you knew you were a robot?
I mean, I think for a second, well, probably more than a second, but I'm sure there would be wondering of like, okay, well, am I doing what I'm doing because it's in my programming? Like, who made me? You know,
I would just be so immensely baffled that I never caught on to it earlier.
Ooh, true.
That, because at this point right now, I am literally 100% positive that I am not a robot. Okay? I'm like, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. So if I found out I was a robot tomorrow, like literally, like if you cut me open and there was circuitry inside me, I would probably shit myself first thing.
Right.
Because I'd be like, how did I not see this earlier? And then I would probably file some malpractice suits on every doctor I've ever been to in my entire life because they would all suck at that point. Because I've literally been cut open. I've had surgery.
Right.
In different places of my body. So for multiple different surgeons to miss that.
No, they just had parts they had to change out. That's all.
Oh, like everyone else knows it, but not me?
Maybe.
I've never seen the inside of myself.
Oh, nor have I. I mean, even the Terminator.
That would literally blow my physical shit away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would probably go through. I'd probably break down. Like I would think like
emotionally or mechanically?
No, mechanically.
Oh, okay.
Like
I was like, whoa, what do you mean?
Touche. Good game, sir. Good game. No, I think I would probably like I think I'd get so overwhelmed because I would start thinking like, oh, well, what's my programming? Is everything I'm doing because of my programming? And then would be the question too of like, when was I built? Was I just built a couple of years ago and all the memories I have from childhood and my parents and everything, is that all just artificial? Is that all just programming in my brain? Was I a real person at one point and then they downloaded
It sounds like it would bother you. It sounds like you would be emotionally and mentally bothered.
Yeah, it'd probably bother me.
Weird. I don't know that we're going to be able to come to a consensus on this one.
But the thing is, it wouldn't bother me of like being a robot, like physically being a robot. It would, everything that would bother me is just what I said, like just
like
not
the lie of
like
your
not
life.
knowing the origin of myself.
Okay, so I don't even have to play devil's advocate on this one. I'll just tell you what I really think because I'm the polar opposite.
Okay.
I don't think it would bother me at all.
Okay.
If anything, I would think it's badass as fuck.
Okay.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm a robot. It's fucking dope, dude.
Right.
As far as like wondering, like, did my parents lie to me my whole life? Did they know? I don't even give a damn. Honestly, if they did lie to me, I understand. I totally get it. It's probably hard to be the mother and father of a little robot boy and have to hide that from them for 27 years.
Right.
So quite frankly, the own emotional torment that would bring them for 27 years is punishment enough. So I wouldn't even be mad at them.
Would you just go on living your life as Matthew's been living it? So you wouldn't be curious as like who built you, or go on this like quest to find out where you came from, or?
No, I don't have those roots.
Interesting.
In the ground.
Just not in your programming.
Yeah, no. Doesn't bother me at all.
Interesting.
I wouldn't care if I'm a Swiss robot or a fucking French robot.
Oh, see, that would become my life at that point. Like, all right, I'm a robot. Okay. Let's figure out why.
So if I was the guy, I really imagine if I was the guy that like one of his parents ran away when he was young and was like had an estranged father somewhere or something. I don't think I would go out and look for him. I'd just be like, whatever, I made it this far. You know. So if I find out suddenly I'm a robot, I literally don't think anything would change. I'd probably tell everyone. I'm like, I'm a fucking robot, dude.
Cut me open. Just cut me open right here. Just knife right here.
But yeah, honestly, being totally honest, I don't think it would bother me. I would be fine.
Man.
I'd be like, whatever. I'm just doing my robot thing now.
I'd probably accept it eventually, but I would definitely want answers. That'd be my first mode.
I don't even think I'd become more prideful of robots.
Yeah.
Like in video games, I don't think I would play the robot character. I'd still be human.
Right.
I would just tell myself, I'd be like, well, I'm still human.
Right.
I would identify as a human. I feel like these days you can just identify as whatever you want anyway. So yeah, I would just identify as a human.
Make a whole movement out of it. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, yeah. I think that was the first one we like differed on.
Yeah, I don't think we can meet in the middle on that one. That's interesting.
All right. Let's see what we have for number 6. If you got to choose got to choose between 50 years of being incredibly happy or to live forever and be unhappy, what would you choose? Well, that's a very easy one for me. If you
Well,
got
you're
to
going to pick
choose...
50 years of happiness, right?
Yeah, of
Obviously.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think it. You got to read into it a little bit more, Adam.
Okay, how are you reading into it?
So there's no chance, there's no possibility of ever being happy if you live forever.
That's
you
what
are
I would
doomed
assume.
to just be
Unhappy.
a dick.
Just unhappy, bitter, cynical.
Forever?
Forever.
Why would anyone want
For
that?
eternity. That's
that
what I
sounds
mean.
terrible. That's not even like enticing at
Like,
all.
I feel like you would your quest, your eternal quest, would literally to be find happiness, and you would never find it.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I think I would take 50 years of happiness.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's essentially what we're taking at our stage in our life anyway.
Yeah, you're literally just getting like
We're going to be
easy
around
access
for about
to it.
50 more years. That's pretty
Yeah.
much what we got. We'll be in our 80s.
And if somebody was like, "Hey, you can live forever and be unhappy, or live the remainder of your life,
natural life
Like,
happy,"
okay,
that sounds great. That sounds better than what I'm going to do anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I would for sure choose
That's an easy
happiness.
one. That's a dumb one.
That was a dumb one.
Next.
Question though, for all listening out there, if your answer differs to that particular question, if you would take immortality but you would be unhappy the entire time, leave us a comment and let us know why, because I'm very curious as to why.
Well, and you know what I also just thought of while you were saying that? That's super ironic, Adam, is not 15 minutes ago you were adamantly explaining how you would sell your soul to the devil for immortality.
True, but
then this came up and you're like, fuck immortality, I want happiness.
Well, true.
So why not just sell your soul to the devil for happiness?
Well, because the contingency with the devil wasn't that I'd be unhappy if I was immortal. The contingency is just I'm immortal, or there is no contingency. It's just I'm immortal. So some of those times I'll probably be happy, and some of those times I'll be unhappy.
So let's change that one just a little bit, okay? So that it's a little more enticing.
Okay.
What if you could choose to live 50 years wealthy as a millionaire,
Okay.
or live forever, okay, be immortal, but you'll never be a millionaire. You could only ever be as far as middle class. Like or even better yet, you'll be poor. You're going to be poor forever, but you could live forever.
Ooh.
Would you rather be a millionaire for 50 years or poor for eternity?
So poor, there's no
other
possibility
contingencies.
that you can like get any richer, or get any
For the
more
sake of this
money.
argument, yes. You are stuck at a definite amount. You're stuck at making a certain X amount for the rest of your life, which is forever.
I think I choose the immortality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think so. Yeah.
I can figure out how to live without money.
Yeah. And I feel like there's plenty of happy people who figure out how to do that.
Most of us.
And then you think if you're immortal and you get to a point, I mean, eventually you're going to have to experience some kind of post-apocalyptic thing on the world, right? Like I would assume it being immortal at some point that's happening. So like at that point you're poor, but so is everybody else, but you're just immortal. You can't die. So now you have a one-up on everyone. Yeah, it's just the immortality. Fuck yeah. I'll find a way.
On that note, real quick though, I think even in a post-apocalyptic world, as long as there's humans breathing and eating and shitting, there's going to be rich humans and poor humans in some sense.
I agree.
Even if it's chickens, some people will have all the chickens.
But I would just be the scavenger or whatever guy just walking around, but I just couldn't die, you know?
I think that I can honestly see that case either way.
Okay.
So I could see... I don't know that I want to live forever, to tell you the truth. That's such a fucking burden.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Could be.
I'd rather, I think honestly on this one, if I'm going to be real, I would just take the rest of my natural life that I'm going to live anyway and just be a millionaire.
Honestly,
That'd be great.
Honestly, they're both good deals.
They really are.
There's both advantages and disadvantages to both of them.
I can meet in the middle on this one saying that either one is a good deal. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I
honestly.
agree. You know, because I could definitely, like, if somebody chose for me and I knew those were the two choices, I'd be like, all right, I'm okay with either of those. Let's see what happens.
Well, because I'm already going to live 50 years
Yeah,
and I'm not going to
exactly.
be a millionaire.
Yeah.
So let's do it as a millionaire. Why not?
Yeah, I would. Those are both pretty good choices.
That's a win-win.
Yeah, it is a win-win. Okay. Good. I'm glad we made that question a little more interesting.
I was like,
right?
I think they shit the bed on that question.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, number 7. If you could learn any one skill in the world without trying, like Matrix learning style, which would you pick?
I can learn anything instantly without having to put any effort into it.
Yes.
I would learn. I would want all the knowledge in the world about trading.
About trading?
About trading, like currency, stocks, stuff like that. Because that's aside from entertaining, which is what I've chosen to do with my life.
Right.
I do have a really deep passion for trading and currency and, just business in general, particularly the stocks. I really love to trade currency. I taught myself how to do that. So it would be really cool to just have all the knowledge in the world on that and not have to put any effort into it. Even not just to make money, but just it would be thrilling for me personally. I enjoy charts and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that popped in my head. That's what I would want.
Okay. I think I would choose all knowledge about music.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I can figure, like, all the music theory, all the, like, everything. I think I could, everything about music, down to writing it, down to reading it.
What about, like, space? Like, knowing all the mysteries of space, having the answers to all of that.
Ooh, well, that would assume, because I'm assuming the only way this information can be downloaded to you is just what we already know, correct? So you mean just all the current information about space, or I'm able to figure out the unknown?
I want to say because it specifically said Matrix-esque learning, which would mean anything.
Well, Matrix-esque learning is referring to the movie The Matrix, where they hook you up to a machine, but you still learn only what's known. So, like, we don't know what's at the center of a black hole,
so you
I
can
couldn't
only
learn
learn things that are already known?
That's what I would assume, yeah.
Oh, that makes it a lot less fun.
So you couldn't learn anything about trading that isn't already known about trading.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I would assume the same thing with music.
Oh, I want to change my answer then.
Okay.
I thought I knew, like, all the deep-lying mysteries and everything associated with the topic.
No, I would assume that it's just anything that's already known.
Well, immediately, the first thing that would help me a lot in my life is to know how to cool this fucking room down.
I know.
Because the studio we are in right now is hotter than hell.
I know. I always try to run the AC first to get cold, and then it just gets so hot so quickly.
So to know that would be fantastic. But aside from that, I guess if it has to be something already known, I would want to know all the things about psychology and how the brain works and how the mind, like either psychology or sociology.
Okay.
And not have to take any classes on it, just know it all.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You would basically be able to, like,
work with people really well.
Yeah. Know everything that's going on. Okay, that's a good one.
That'd be useful.
That's a really
I think,
good one. Music is definitely just a pleasure thing, not even necessarily a tool. I would like to know everything about music. Just get that out of the way.
Around. Even if the world fucking blows up, there's always music. You can make music with your voice, you know. So that's a cool one. That's never going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. That's why I changed my answer to like psychology, because even if there's not a world or civilization anymore, like you still would know all about people.
Well, and that's just it. And that information would always be useful in any situation that you end up finding yourself in, you know?
I don't know why my brain is tying that together. I don't know why my brain's putting it into an apocalypse. Must have been from one of the past questions.
I feel like this is natural. We just automatically go, okay,
I'm like, well, what
end
if
of the
world
world. How is this going to
if
better
the world
me?
ends, I want my skill to be useful still.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No, I agree. Maybe we're just all as millennials expecting that to happen in our lifetime. Who knows?
So we could say that the consensus is it would be a skill that helps us, that makes our life easier or more enjoyable.
Yeah, more enjoyable, I think, is the good one to use.
Okay.
Yeah, at least in my
Interesting.
case.
Neither of us chose like mathematics or like to be like an intellectual genius. We both chose to be a little more artsy.
Well, I would assume with something like being an intellectual genius, because I was assuming it's more focused on one particular subject, right? So I chose music, you chose like psychology and sociology, how the brain, you know, thinks. So genius, though, can encompass fucking, you know, anything and everything.
Adam, you know what we should have both picked?
What?
Dum-dum. Media. Duh. Don't we want to know everything there is to know about media?
If I know everything there is to know about music, I could make us some sick-ass content for this fucking channel.
You know what's super interesting on just a little bitty side note is actually this morning, me and Adam were looking into it, and we were looking at IQ levels of people who work in Hollywood and who work in the media industry. And we were finding that, fascinatingly, a large majority of actors and people who work in media in the whole Hollywood industry are very, very high IQs.
We're talking about a lot of them have the same IQ as Einstein or Stephen Hawking guys.
Like, no shit. Okay, we're not joking. So Einstein and Stephen Hawking had about a 160.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's been human beings. There's been over 20 of them who are over 200 throughout time. Okay. So Einstein is by no means the smartest person who's ever lived.
Yeah.
Okay. Not even close. But he's super duper fucking smart.
Yeah.
So who's the Wood?
James Wood.
So James Wood, guys, the same guy who gets cracked on in Family Guy all the time. Okay.
He's
James
also the
Wood,
guy who did the voice of Hades in Hercules, for those who aren't familiar with him.
Yeah, he did. James Wood is great. So that guy is classified as an ultra genius.
Yep.
He has a higher IQ than Stephen Hawking or Einstein did.
Yep.
He has 180
Yeah.
IQ.
The first time, remember he took it a second
He took
time,
it a second time,
he got 184.
He got 184 the second time. It's crazy. The smartest guy who is alive within recent history, he was an American. I forget his name. He was a director.
Yeah, documentary director.
He ended up becoming a documentary director. And it's amazing. You know, Ashton Kutcher has the same IQ level as Einstein. He has a 160. He went to school for like biochemical engineering and then dropped out to be a model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other ones? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon had a 160.
Natalie Portman was
She had like
another
140.
one. Yeah, she went to Harvard. There was Quentin Tarantino has a 160
high
IQ.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of actors and actresses. A lot of directors.
It's pretty crazy. They all end up in media, guys. Just something to look into.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's a pattern going on there or not.
So if you're a filmmaker, you might be a fucking genius.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Little side note.
That's what the statistics show.
Very fascinating. I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, dude. It was, I didn't know it was as many people either until we looked it up. All right, so we're on number 8 now of the hypotheticals. You are offered a pill that makes you 25% more intelligent, but permanently removes your hair, including eyebrows. Do you take it?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Give me 2 of them.
I just don't have hair. That's it.
Whatever.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Okay, so what's something better it could take away?
Let's
enhance this a little bit. So you can be 25% smarter, but it makes your dick fall off. Like straight, cuts the blood flow off, it turns black, shrivels up, and falls off. Okay? You can keep the balls though. The balls don't fall off with the dick. So now you just have a set of balls.
Maybe that's where the 25% intelligence comes from, is the fact that you're dickless now.
Oh, way to bring that home, sir. Well done. Well done. Yeah, so do you still take the pill? Do you value intelligence or your dick more?
Honestly, I don't think I'd take it.
I don't take it.
I don't
Fuck
take it.
No, I don't take it.
The way I look at it too, logically, is it's not impossible to like up my intelligence level on my own. It's just gonna take longer than taking a fucking pill, and then I gotta still keep my dick.
What if, when you were presented this option of this pill or your dick falling off, the person who was presenting you this option was a certified doctor?
Okay.
And you were in his office because you were receiving news that your dick is broken forever. It will never work again. It'll never become erect. You can't pee out of it anymore. You have to have a tube either way.
Right.
You can't pee out of your dick anymore. Okay, dick totally broken. But it's on there, and it looks fine.
Right.
And that doctor is like, well, Mr. Hansen, due to the circumstances at hand, if you'd like to take this pill and be 25% smarter, you can, but your dick will fall off.
Well, at that point, I take the pill.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
My dick's useless. What the fuck?
But he's still your friend.
Well,
he's been on. He's had your back. He's had your front. Huh?
No,
for 20-some years.
This is a fucking friend who died, and you're fucking still carrying him around.
He's not
acting
dead.
Like
he's just
still
broken.
alive.
He looks fine. He's breathing.
No,
He's just broken.
But you can't even fucking piss out of him, Matthew. You need a tube either way. Fuck the penis. Give me the fucking pill.
Adam Hansen, how dare you turn your back on your penis?
It has to be done. It has to be done. I'll have the intelligence, and I'll fucking use that intelligence to make an artificial penis that works better than the old one.
You know, I did see a thing where a guy,
You were telling me about
unfortunately,
this.
he lost his penis. I don't know how, but he lost it and he couldn't find it. It was gone. So he went to the doctor because obviously it was an issue, right? And they were like, "No problem, Joe Schmo. We'll just use your finger. We'll just take a finger, pick one, and that'll be your new penis. And what's cool is there's already a bone in your finger, so we can even make it get hard. You can still get erections, Joe Schmo." He's like, "What are you worried about? You're good. Choose a finger." So, of course, he picked his middle finger.
Of course.
Of course he picked his middle finger, right?
Of course he did.
And I think the reason I brought it up to you originally was I think I was justifying using the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my original thing, as I was trying to make an argument for choosing the thumb. Because no one would ever pick the thumb as their penis. That'd be so sad.
Well, the thumb's just so much smaller.
Well, there's only one joint.
Well, yeah.
All the other fingers get two.
There's not much you can do with it.
But it's the most essential of all your fingers.
True.
It's true.
True.
See? It's got the most girth. Some say girth is worth more than
But
length.
is it really useful if it's not on your hand and it's in place of your dick?
Can we just use the arm? I'd be like, "Doc, look, I'm
I
willing
don't
to give it up.
I don't need. You see how
Just
this
from
arm
the elbow
here?
up, okay? Keep the middle finger, take the rest of them off, and just take it off at the elbow, Doc. I'm good with it. I'll sign the release form, whatever we need to do."
Fuck it, if you're putting my whole fucking arm down there, keep the fucking fingers on there, man.
You want all five?
Fucking make it interesting. If we're putting my arm down there in place of
That's
my
a
penis.
horror movie.
Ooh, a good one.
Also, think if you just had your middle finger, then you could be like, "Fuck you," which is what you're about to do. Ah! Okay, we've digressed enough on that. Let's bring it back home, folks. Let's bring it back home.
Oh my gosh. Well, who knew that pointless fucking question would turn into putting your arm in place of your penis?
It's quite a walk back from left field.
Oh, this one's very short, very simple.
Oh God, I'm scared.
If Jurassic Park were real, would
Park
you
or world?
Park.
Okay.
If Jurassic Park were real, would you visit it? I mean, I'm assuming if it's real, and
real up until like when the shit went down.
So that's what I was about to ask. So I'm assuming if it's real and you're able to visit it, I'm assuming it's open.
It's safe,
right? It's safe.
I'm going to assume, for the sake of this argument in particular, it's safe.
Okay.
Because we all know what happens when the shit goes down. We've seen it.
Right.
It's a very famous movie.
We have 4 movies.
Someone already did this. Well, Spielberg already did that for us, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Spielberg. So let's twist it up and let's just say Jurassic Park, totally safe.
Well, then, yeah, I'm visiting.
You'd want to go see dinosaurs?
Oh, fuck yeah. Wouldn't you?
I guess so.
Yeah?
Well, immediately, I'm a very careful person. I'm scared of everything. Okay, so my first response is like, fuck no. This is asking for trouble, right? But then we distinguish that if it is truly 100% safe,
right,
I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
What if it's only as safe as the actual zoo? Like, what if sometimes, like once every couple years, fucking T-Rex gets out, eats a person, but then they're able to like lasso it, bring it back, like a lion getting out.
I think I'd still go.
You take the risk?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at it like theme parks, right? It's not, sometimes roller coasters and rides break down and people die on them.
Sometimes you fall out.
I still go to fucking theme parks. So yeah, I'd risk it. I go to Jurassic Park.
But see, that's what I mean. That's a perfect example because I don't go on roller coasters.
Oh, I see.
For that exact reason.
Okay, so it'd make more sense for you to be like, oh, I don't think I'm going to do this.
I just don't want to be the one time. I don't want to be the guy on the news because he fucked up.
Right.
I want to be the guy on the news like getting an award or something. You know what I mean?
Right, I feel ya.
I just don't want to go out with everyone else being like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame you at all. No, yeah,
But dinosaurs are so cool, dude. Of course I would want to see
them. Yeah, they are really cool. And yeah, I mean, if it's safe, I'd fucking go. Now, if it was like a situation like the actual movie Jurassic Park where they invited people to go before the park opened, right?
Right.
To basically get the okay on it.
Would you guinea pig the park? Would you be the first one to go?
Probably not.
Really?
And probably just for the sole purpose that we have 5 fucking movies saying why this is a bad idea. So I'll let others be the guinea pig.
We unanimously decided to take the money from the woods that says don't. but we're not going to go fuck with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works.
I feel like we're a little obligated to go to Jurassic Park, Adam.
I think the way that differs is the case with the money that says don't. There's still an air of mystery about that, right? You don't know if the
there haven't been a ton of movies about that. No way.
But the thing is, in that situation in real life, I think the reason why we're more prone to taking the money because we don't see anybody. You know, there's no that's a bloodstained letter, but
we're prone to take it because
we don't know what happened.
The reward of having $1 million means you don't have to work anymore for the rest of your life.
Right, but
that's what's worth dying over.
But I think the question would be different.
That's literally what's worth dying. Isn't that terrible?
The $1 million question pun would be different. If it was like, oh, you find this $1 million in the wood and it says don't on it, and you know for a fact that there's somebody who's going to be constantly following you for the rest of your life trying to kill you, that changes that question a little bit, right?
You were willing to do that.
Well, the thing is, with Jurassic Park, there is no mystery. The mystery is, well, I could go be the guinea pig to this and maybe get eaten by dinosaurs if shit doesn't go well, or nothing would happen. It's either one of those two things, as opposed to like the mystery of the box where, well, it's still a probability that nothing could happen at all, that there's not even the possibility of something bad happening, right?
You know, as I'm thinking about it, I think you're right, because I've already accepted fully the concept that I will never see a dinosaur in my life.
Right.
And I'm literally 100% okay with that.
Uh-huh.
I will live a happy life knowing I'm never going to see a fucking dinosaur.
Right.
So if someone was like, hey, brah, you want to see a dinosaur? 50-50 if you'll make it through.
Right.
I'm going to be like, no, I'm good. I've already accepted that I'll never see one.
Right.
I'm good. But I do think there are lots of people out there who'd be like, let's go to the dinosaur town, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'm definitely one of them, but just not to be a guinea pig.
So, see, we might be young and dumb, but we're cautious.
We're cautious.
We're not just going into things willy-nilly.
Especially when it comes to fucking dinosaurs. You gotta be cautious around those fucking things. If you see a fucking crocodile, you're gonna be cautious around that shit, aren't you? All right, let's see.
Some people hunt them.
That's true. Number 10. If a zombie plague were to start right now, where would you hold up? I feel like we talked about this yesterday with our apocalypse conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Our survival conversation.
Check it out, folks. We haven't already.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, well, we can go back over it quickly here.
Yeah.
We'll just address it real quick.
So specifically, it's a zombie apocalypse, right? So a zombie plague.
Well, what was the wordage it used?
Well, plague.
A zombie plague.
So it's not apocalypse yet. Everybody's just a zombie. So you just woke up, everyone's a zombie.
So Resident Evil is going on.
Yeah.
Basically. There's a plague, which means it's like a sickness. There's a disease.
Yeah.
And for some reason, you're immune to the disease. So it doesn't affect you.
There you go.
And there's maybe like 2% of the population who's like you, right? We're going to assume that there's a couple other people out there who are going to make it.
Yeah.
Now, what's the question? Where do I go?
Yes, is where would you hold up?
Where would I hold up?
Specifically.
Well, we don't live in a particularly hold-up kind of town. I feel like the specific town we live in would be one of the first ones to be gone because it's not very big. So all the neighbors are just going to eat each other. You're fucked. You got to get the hell out of town.
True.
The only towns around us are larger cities that are too far away to walk to. You'd have to drive to them.
Right.
We live in the desert, so it's hot as fuck. So you can't really just go outside. I'm going to... I'm thinking really hard here, man. Shit. Because there's not just like mountains you can run away to. Most people can just go to the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to go live in the forest for a while. I could survive in the forest. We live in the middle of the desert, guys. You can't do that here.
We live in suburbia in the middle of desert.
Yeah.
Even worse.
For literally 30 miles in every direction outside of our little 10 square mile town, 30 miles around us is Indian reservation.
Yes.
It is flat dirt with like a few bushes here and there. There's nothing.
It's so true.
So you can't survive out there.
No.
I think I'm staying right here.
Okay.
I think I'm staying. Well, it's such a bad idea. You're gonna get fucked up.
Is it a bad idea though?
You know what was my idea yesterday? I'm gonna go find people.
Right.
I'm gonna go find people.
Right. Well, because I think at first I think holding in the case of a zombie plague, I actually think holding up in a house is actually the smartest decision, because if we're talking about that maybe 1 or 2% of the population is like you and is fine, well, that also means the 98% of the fucking population isn't, right?
Right.
So I think I would just hold up in the house. I would just board up all the doors, all the windows, and then just hold off for a little bit.
How long before you start scavenging?
I think that just kind of depends what's happening outside. Like at first, I'm assuming you would probably there'd be a rush of panic, right? So you'd have the people who are trying to get away or getting eaten. There's obstacles. There's people. There's healthy people shooting other healthy people. You know, I'm sure in some situations. So you kind of just wait for all of that to kind of die down. Wait for your particular stuff to be forgot about. And then you go out.
There's 3 zombies outside your front door.
Okay.
And they're about 10 feet away from your front door.
Okay.
And there's a live person right in front of the zombies, 2 feet in front of them. And the circumstances for this are 100%, okay? The rules are, if you open the door, the person will get in safely, but 2 of the zombies will also get in, 100% guaranteed. And you're going to have to fight the zombies off. Do you risk that to save the person that you don't know?
What kind of zombies are we talking here? Are we talking like Walking Dead zombies where they're just slowly walking towards you?
We're talking fucking NFL linebackers.
Ooh.
You could beat them, but it's gonna be a fucking hassle. There's a 70% chance you might die.
I'm trying to think, because the first thing that I would do after boarding up my house and everything is probably going to find a weapon or jiggy rig a weapon in some way, shape, or form to protect myself in case such situations come about, right?
Let's say you have a crowbar.
So,
Let's say the best thing you found was a
it's
crowbar.
just a crowbar?
That's what you got. There's no kitchen knives. You have a crowbar.
And I have fucking like linebacker zombies.
They're
that
300-pound linebacker zombies, but they're stupid. They're zombies. So they don't know martial arts, but they're a lot bigger than you.
Who's the person coming in? Is it like
total
a
stranger.
Bigger man? Is it like a younger woman?
I purposely did not describe what kind of human it is, because that's my next question.
Okay.
So let's assume it's just a blank. It's a question mark it's just a human being. You don't know the age. You don't know the sex. You don't know anything about it. But you know they'll get in safe.
Adult, no. Child, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Child, yes, no matter what?
Yes. Because I know that because if it's an adult, I know that outside there is still a chance that adult could survive. The chance of that child surviving outside is a lot slimmer than that adult is.
It's not true. In all the movies, the fucking kids make it through.
And maybe in the movies, but if I fucking saw that shit in real life, I'd be like, all right.
But a kid is no help at all. A kid is literally just more risk. So you make it through that risky situation, and you now have more obligation and risk.
I wouldn't.
But an adult could help you.
I just wouldn't be able to help, but I'd help the kid. I'd probably let the adult handle it himself.
Middle-aged adult.
Okay.
Woman.
Bye.
Man.
Bye.
Really?
Yeah.
Dick.
Sorry. Nope.
Family member.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely help them if I can.
Third cousin.
Nah.
No? You're a savage.
I don't know
Adam.
any third cousins.
You're a savage.
I don't have contact with any of them. It's all right.
So for you, it's not I just save anyone or I let everyone go. It's literally, there's a trial for every person.
Yes.
Wow.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I respect you being honest. I respect the honesty.
What about you? Same scenario.
I couldn't let someone fucking die, dude.
No, you'd let them in?
I'd have to let them in. Just because there's power in numbers, dude.
Yeah.
You're more valuable. It's worth the risk. The risk to reward is worth it to try to fight off 2 really, really stupid linebackers with a crowbar.
Right.
And this potential person's help. Mm-hmm. And then, have that person to help you in the future.
See,
that's like priceless. People become priceless at that point.
See, and I do agree with you to an extent there, but just the way the strategy would work in my mind is like later down the line, it would probably be higher priority for me to help people and me be more willing to do that. But in the case of like, I just woke up and this is what was happening, I know nothing about it. I don't know. Even if I did know something about it, it's still the early stages where I'm just having to hold up in my house. Now I'm going to compromise the defense of my house and possibly my life for somebody I don't know.
I would.
Yeah?
I would have to. Even if I didn't want to, I would have to. I couldn't not do it.
You are a better person than I in that scenario, sir.
I would have to. I just can't imagine myself saying no. And I could even be saying it in my head, like, you're an idiot, just say no. But I would be opening the door.
Right.
Like, as I'm telling myself, don't do it, I would be doing it.
And you know what? Who knows? Maybe if I was actually in that situation, I would react differently. But just as Adam's sitting here now, I think unless I knew them or if it was a child, I think they would be on their own.
What if you knew you could save them, but you were going to sprain your ankle in the process?
Well, if I knew for a fact that I could save them, it would be yes. The reason why the answer is no right now is because there's the chance that I can't, and that we both die, right? So it's either one of us dies or both of us dies.
So you're not a gambler.
Not in that situation, no.
Interesting.
No, not in that situation. At that point, every man for itself. You got to fucking survive. And
well, I'm going to say this is one that we can't come to a consensus on.
I think that is true. But it's funny, though, because our answers still go with what we were saying yesterday of how we would survive.
Yeah, this is real, folks. This is not scripted. Yeah. Okay, this is how we actually feel. I would find people.
Yeah, see, and
Adam would say, "Fuck it."
Eventually, I would. But all right, we're 10 minutes.
We're almost out of time. Should we get the last one?
Yeah,
in
I was gonna say we're 10 minutes over, but we do have one more here. So. And this one is, if you could change one thing about how the human body has evolved, what would it be?
It would be that you have to flex or do something on purpose to get an erection. That there were no reason boners. There were no surprise boners ever.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's the most useless, most ridiculous part of the human body is just no reason boners. I hate them.
It's very different from my answer.
What's your answer?
That we evolved to be able to fly.
Oh, fuck that. If you tried to offer me that as a superpower, I'd be like, nah, you can keep it.
Oh, that's right. You're afraid of heights.
I have zero interest in flight.
You're afraid of heights.
Hate
that's
heights.
Right.
No, thank you.
No, dude, I think being able to
You want
fly.
wings, but you hate birds.
Well, I wouldn't be a fucking bird, would I? I'd just be a man with wings.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For some reason, I think of an angel.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I read once that if a person had wings, you'd have to have a wingspan of like 10, 15 feet.
Doable.
In order to get off. And you'd obviously have to have like lighter bones, more hollow bones to get you off the ground.
Can you imagine the muscles it would take to move a 15-foot wing?
Ooh.
You'd have to be like He-Man.
You'd have to have some monster fucking back muscles.
Well, good luck when you get a boner while you're flying for no reason. In my perfect world, that would never happen.
If we evolved to fly, man, that makes sex a whole lot more interesting, man.
Not for me. Terrifying. Terrifying.
Could you imagine you're just like at home and you're looking up and you see two people in the air and you're like, are they? I think they're fucking. Yeah, I think they're fucking.
They are fucking.
All right, so wings and no reason boners.
No reason boners. There we go. That just about wraps up the what if.
That wraps up the hypothetical episode of the Hardly Millennial podcast. This was fun, but I do wish it wasn't so fucking hot in this room.
Oh, it's incredibly hot. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Thank you for listening today. We hope you enjoyed this conversation. A little different than what we usually do. Remember, you can follow us on all the social media platforms. We also have the GoFundMe still going. We have it for about 5 more days, so please, any donations are greatly appreciated. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And any last words, Matthew?
We love you guys. We appreciate you letting us do this. Thank you so much. We can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.